right, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be drawing the first part of our wild and wacky hair portrait. So what I'm going to have you guys do first is make sure you have a vertical paper, so that means it is taller this way than it is wider. If it goes this way, you are not going to have enough space, so it needs to be vertical. Just like this paper is vertical so that we can get there's enough information on here. Now, with this project, this is not a realistic portrait. However, I am giving you two worksheets to look at. So you're getting this worksheet, and that's the one that I'm going to use for my example that I'm going to be creating just now. But I'm also going to give you this how to draw a face example as well. So these will both be available for you to look at. This one is more realistic than this one, but we're not really worried about realism on this project. We're kind of just doing this for fun. Now, if you look at these steps, they don't really have a lot of indication on what you're supposed to do for step 1, step 2, step 3. So I'm going to go through and tell you how to do it. We're not going to get to pattern work today, and I'm just going to give you the outline of the hair today. Now, on the back of this, it also gives you how to create hair, and it's female is what this one is. I'm going to be drawing a male because this one gives you directions for that. And I think the only real difference is the hair and eyelashes. So let's start with this. Okay, so it says, start by drawing a large U on the center of the white paper. Now, when it says draw a large U, if you look at this, this is not a small U. This takes up most of the paper in this space because this is obviously a shrunk down version of what you're supposed to draw. Okay? So don't make it too small and don't make it so large you can't draw anything. I'm using a Sharpie to draw, but I want you to use a pencil. The only reason I'm using a Sharpie is because you can see it a lot easier on the video than when I draw in pencil. So if you guys remember from class, we use our hands to measure. And for this shape, okay, I'm using my hand to tell me where the sides are. So I'm going to put a dot here, and then my thumb actually is the perfect length. So this is the top, and that's bottom. And remember, we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to drag. Actually, that's not a good idea. So three fingers, remember? 1, 2, 3. I use my thumb as my guide, and it's about right there. Now, that doesn't leave us a lot of room for hair, so I'm not going to draw up that high. I'm going to draw a U shape, making sure that my U touches the bottom there. Okay, so that's plenty big enough. These are going to get hidden in a little bit. The next thing it tells us to do is draw eyes and some facial features over here. So we're going to draw eyes. So I don't like drawing the eyes all the way up at the top here because you're going to add hair and stuff. I move them down a little bit, and then I just draw like a football shape eye. And then inside of it, you draw iris, and then you leave a little white spot and you draw your pupil. You do the same thing on the other side. Leave a little white spot. I made that one a little bit smaller. Oh well, it's fine. We're just gonna make them go away. All right, no big deal. Don't worry about them if they're not even, because clearly mine are not, so don't worry about that. Over the eyes, draw your eyebrows. It can be these little skinny eyebrows that I've drawn now, or you can make however eyebrows you want, but do not make the attention on the eyebrows, so don't go don't go too far with them. Next, you're going to add a nose. Easiest way for a nose, because this is basically a cartoon character, is to draw it like a backwards J or a hook shape. So you start right below the eyes, draw a little nose. It comes like this. Looks like a J or a hook shape. And then right over here, you want to kind of like leave a little bit of space and draw a little curved line. And that's going to create our nostril. And then for your face, you want to have a mouth. Now, most of my boys in other classes want to keep it kind of a straight mouth, but you have lips, so don't like ignore that fact. So I'm going to draw just some skinny kind of nondescript lips there. Okay. So we've gotten that. Oh, we forgot ears. So ears kind of fall in between eyes and nose. So the bottom of your ear should kind of come out around where the nose is, and you just kind of just draw a C inside there, and it creates an idea that that's supposed to be an ear. Remember what I said about these not being perfect, and that ear sticks out a little bit more, and you know what? Some people just do. All right, so we've completed all the steps on here. And it says right here, optional, add eyelashes. So if you already know that you're gonna wanna add eyelashes, do it now so you don't forget. Now I'm gonna flip this over. Okay, so it says draw a curved or zigzag line across the forehead. What that is going to be the hairline. So I like to do this like just crazy wavy line, kind of looks like bangs or something. Next, draw a hair using shapes and contour lines. Now we talked about contour lines being outlines, okay? So a contour line for this shape. Now on here, it kind of like goes up to a point, and I think it might work best for boy hair if it went up, not as a point, but more like a rounded shape. So I'm gonna do this kind of rounded square shape, okay? That'll be fine. And then it says, make sure your shapes connect so they don't leave space between the hair and the shapes. Now, I want you guys to notice this. I made sure there was space here, okay? Do not draw your shapes so tiny, because what's gonna happen is you're not gonna have any space to draw patterns. And our goal in the example, like I showed you before, is to draw patterns inside of it. And we're gonna use this pattern sheet to do that. Okay, so now we're going to draw some hair. Now, if you're drawing a boy, you don't need to worry about where the neck or anything is like that right now. So I'm gonna draw some like just absolutely crazy hair. So I'm gonna start over here. He's got quarantine hair, guys. And I'm gonna come in here and create a shape. It's an organic shape. I want you to think of more organic shapes for this project than geometric shapes, because we want it to look crazy. So I made a section here that I'm gonna put a pattern in later. Then I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna do some more jagged shapes. And then I'm gonna connect it back to the head. Then I'm gonna go over here. I told you, he's got bad quarantine hair, guys. And then down here, I'm gonna end it kind of in the same spot, but like cloud-shaped hair. Now, if you wanted to, you could leave these the way they are and then add in your patterns. Or you can make them smaller shapes. I think because I'm not working on regular size paper and you guys aren't either, so our regular size drawing paper is actually larger than this. You may not notice it, but it is. So I'm done with my hair, and now I'm gonna go through and add a neck and some shirt details. So your neck should kind of line up with your eyes, and don't make it too long. And then give yourself a shirt collar. Okay, you can add the details on that. Give yourself some shoulders. Don't make them too tight to the side of your body, because then it'll just look like they're like that skinny. You don't want that. Make your arm indication lines. Okay, because now it's starting to look like a person. Now over here, you can draw a double line for this. And now you've got a shirt collar. Okay, that's all we're gonna do for today on this project. That's all I want you to do, is get this far, okay? And then tomorrow I'll start showing you how to add in shapes, or pattern, sorry.